What is up, fellow YouTubers? My name is Mike. This is Extreme Automotive Addiction. Right now we're in the C506, mostly because I just haven't driven this car very much, so I wanted to get it out and drive it a little bit. And I'm actually heading to Modesto to meet up with a new car friend. If you guys caught my video on the Veterans Day cruise, you might remember a certain black Pantera that I featured, and I got some shots of it coming in. I think I got some shots of it going out. Well, I did make friends with that individual and started talking to him. His name's Peter, and apparently he's got a number of vehicles as well. And so I thought it would be kind of fun to take a run up there and check out his toys. Hopefully go for a ride in the Pantera, because I'm kind of curious about that car. But just check out what all he's got. So I thought I'd take you guys along. Should be a fun day for it. It's nice weather out. Got a little break from the rain right now. So yeah, let's enjoy. Okay, just real quick, we're here at Peter's house. Say hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
There he is. So yeah, we're checking out some cool cars. So first off, we're starting with a 67, you said?
Yeah, this one's a 67.
67 Mustang, roller motor. Ooh, manual transmission. I love that.
Yeah, it originally had the 3-speed in it, and that's been replaced with a 5-speed with the overdrive in it. And
Perfect.
It originally was a V8 car also with, I think it was, I don't know if it was a 289 with a 302, but now it's got the a stroked, Fox body motor in it, and I'll open motor for it too. But it's got the fuel injection on it, which helps in it.
Outstanding. And then we've got a Datsun.
Yeah, Datsun Roadster. Picked that one up in 1989. It had a 1600 in it with a 4-speed. Now it's got the 2000 and a 5-speed in it.
Oh, very, very nice upgrade.
Yeah, so that was probably my biggest daily driver over since the late 80s, and with periods of time where it's been sitting. I
do see an E-Type Jag over there in the corner.
Yeah, there's a E-Type back there. Interesting story on that. That was my wife's sister. That used to be her daily driver.
No kidding.
Again, I'm not sure if it was the 80s or as far back as the 70s. And that car, it is an E-Type. It's the 4.2, but it's the 2+2 and the automatic, which makes it, the less desirable of some of the combinations.
Right.
But that car was awarded to her in the divorce, I think, in the mid-'80s. And so the paperwork said it was hers, but her ex-husband said, no, it's not, and kind of buried it in the back of the garage. So once his health took a turn, it took 8 people 8 hours to go dig it out of the back of the garage in Oakland.
Wow.
And when we got down to the very end, my son was there, and he said, what if this is like Raiders of the Lost Ark? And when you move the car, everything over it collapses. And knowing the person we were dealing with, hold up. And so got a tape measure, and sure enough, the posts that were holding up the mezzanine were 4 inches narrower than the width of the car. So had we pulled it through, it would have crushed it.
Oh, wow. Good thing you checked.
Yeah. So pulled out a jack and a 4x4, raised one side, moved it over, did the same on the other, and then dragged it out.
Wow.
And so when we finally got, possession of that car, my wife's sister was, having health issues.
Okay.
But at least she was able to take possession of it, at some point before she passed.
That's good.
So we pulled it out of the garage in Oakland, put it in the trailer, drove it to where she was, and then got her outside so she actually got to see it and feel it and reclaim what was hers. But that was, 25-year difference.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I think it was 1986 was the last time she was able to drive it. That's what the tags were anyway.
Okay.
And
wow.
It was just a few years ago that we were able to get it out. And then so then we had it here for a while. We were hoping to get it back together so she'd actually be able to drive it, but that didn't happen. Her illness was a whole lot faster than I was as far as getting it back together.
Cancer sucks. I mean, I'm sorry it does.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so originally it was going to be sold, and then we ended up buying it from her towards the end.
Okay.
And actually, I was worried about, when you have an engine, especially that engine, sit for 25, 26 years, whatever it was. You worry that you got to start over, and then starting over with a new engine like that, what's it going to cost?
Right.
So grabbed a jumper box, fuel jug, pulled the plugs, WD-40, got it in, turned the motor by hand, and it actually wasn't seized.
That's good.
And got it to start and run.
Wow.
So that one's a 74 Alpha Spider. Got that one from my brother's wife's brother years ago. That was his daily driver in college.
Okay.
And then when he graduated, got married, got a job, got a kid, there was no room for that. So went down to Southern California and dragged it back up here. Also, I don't think it had been running for 9 years. But we did get that one back together and running, and it was a driver for a bit, and then I let it sit, and then the gas in the gas tank started to end up plugging up the fuel system, so worked through that, had the tank boiled out and redone, but then I think something floated through into the injection. So I could actually start it and run it, and sometimes it'll go and sometimes it'll do barely more than idle.
Okay.
And then the last time, but I start them every once in a while just to keep things moving. And last time the water pump decided not to be a water pump anymore. So.
Oh, look, more. I love it.
Yeah, well, and some of it's more stuff and some of it's more cars. So, yeah, this one is what my son wanted, and so it originally had it with the L16, and it had a 5-speed in it.
Okay.
And then he was trying to get it to the point that it would be more reliable like a newer car. So it's got it's partway through a KA swap, so it actually runs and drives, but just not reliably enough for a student to have 5 hours away from his toolbox.
Right, absolutely. And the only thing that I can really say, 'cause I don't know very much about these cars, I can tell you right now, those seats are out of a Honda Prelude.
Yes,
that much
are.
I know. Okay.
So,
What year is this one?
This one's a 72.
These are just neat cars. These are just, they're just cool.
Yeah, so I picked up my first one.
Slightly
I
tubbed.
think it was 82. Had a friend of mine's dad help me with the putting in the V8. Rolled that one in 84, and I just switched the interior over from this one over the other one. So
Okay.
I rolled it back over, dragged it home, and then ended up switching everything back over.
Wow.
So this is just a continuation car of one that's been around for a while, since I think I was about 16.
Okay. Yes, there it is. This is what I was digging on.
Yeah, well, that one's just as dusty and oily as last time, actually more. But, unlike what they originally came with, which was a 351 Cleveland naturally aspirated carbureted. This one, Wilkinson did a conversion with the 4.6 with a supercharger on it, I believe in '96.
Okay.
For the prior owner.
Okay.
And so the engine transplant was originally done there, but since then it's got a stroker kit on it, different supercharger, different heads, different cams.
Wow.
Methanol or Aquamis system to help the charge because it doesn't have an intercooler on it. So, and the prior owner had it really, really nice looking and really, really clean, but he didn't drive it. I think he said he had 600 miles on it.
Okay.
Over 9 years or 900 miles over 6 years or something like that. But I mean, it was definitely a show car at that point. So it cleans up okay with a little bit of effort, but you know how black cars are.
Yes, I do. They're clean for 15 to 20 seconds maximum.
Mm-hmm. But this thing had actually driven it back and forth to Vegas to Monterey.
No kidding.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So, and my intent was to actually drive it. And so I told him when he dropped it off, we'll take care of the car. Yeah, we'll take a picture of it because it's never going to be as clean again. As a matter of fact, it was just driving it before, and as dusty as that we had before the rain, and then the moisture comes in. And,
Oh yeah, then just plants the dust right on there.
Yeah.
But oh man, this is just gated shifter. These cars are just so cool.
Yeah, and this looks somewhat similar, but they didn't have the flares, or not the style flares. There were some flared versions.
Yeah.
The prior owner had a clock on the dash for kind of like open road racing, I'm guessing.
Okay.
A little push button, timer.
Right.
And that's where the methanol injection gauge is instead, and it's got a boost gauge where there was no gauge.
Okay.
So it's and the headlights were originally round rather than square headlights that are.
I did not even notice it. Oh yeah. This is cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Not fun getting in and out, but it's actually fun when you're driving it at a certain range of speed. So it's no fun at 20 or 30 miles an hour, but if you're starting around 50 to maybe 110, 115.
That's where it's enjoyable.
Yeah, well, it
Okay.
feels really stable at that point. And unfortunately, unlike the GT40s, who really did a better job of aerodynamics, air gets under this and it gets really light. So around I think you're going to have 15 in front of it doesn't promise to.
I was wondering about that 'cause, I mean, it's obviously got to be a very well balanced car, but I was thinking that with no front splitters, no nothing like that. I was thinking,
And even a small splitter on it adds like 300 pounds in the front. And so some people will put sandbags in the front while they do the air dams on it. They're the ones that are actually trying to go any speed, real speed at all. They do something different.
okay.
Other than that, they can go the wrong direction quickly.
We have a Saleen Mustang.
Yeah, this is an 88. I bought it in 90.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I bought it with 19,000 miles on it, and really just kind of enjoyed it. It's not the fastest car, it's not the best handling car, but it's a nice balance between all of it.
Right.
So again, go to Vegas, go to for the car events there, up the hill. It handles well. It's enjoyable to drive. I did scatter the original engine. And so it's had a couple different ones in it. Now what I'm back to right now is naturally aspirated Renati cam aluminum heads. I don't have the bottle back on it. I still have it in a box. I'll probably go back to, I've got a Vortec supercharger that I'm thinking about putting back on it.
No kidding.
But it's almost making, it's faster that way, but it's not power that you can use.
So you mind if I try sitting in the...
No, please. Okay. So watch your head as you're So once you're in, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, getting in and out, the taller you are, the heavier you are, the bigger of an issue it is.
And it's a car I've liked for a long time. I thought they were really cool, but I just kind of looked at them and back in the day when you could buy them for $20,000, $30,000, I should have done.
Okay, we're actually going to get to go for a ride in this car. If you guys haven't figured it out by now, I'm kind of thinking that I want a Pantera. Really can't afford one. Really shouldn't buy one. Wife will probably kill me and divorce me, but man, they're beautiful cars. So yeah, Peter said he would take me for a quick ride. I'll take you guys along, obviously. It'll be a blast. This thing should be phenomenal, and I really enjoyed sitting in it, so I can only imagine what it's going to be like to ride in it. This is a cool experience. I've never been in a Pantera, so this will be a first for me. I love that gated shifter.
Yeah. Well, and they're a little bit difficult to adjust, but when it's adjusted right, it's really nice. Looks like we might even go. Now wait. Last one to do was sling around on cold tires.
Yeah, that's true. Could end up bad. Now, does that take a little getting used to, though? The first is here.
Yes, but we had a 66 911. It had the same, same type of setup. My son's Datsun one had one 5-speed in it, was the same. So it's just a matter of
Just remember what vehicle you're in.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that might throw me off for a little while, and then I'd get in. Impressive, especially for, I know it's colder outside and 335 tires are colder, but just brake breaking loose in what, the first 3 years, basically.
Yeah. So if it's colder than this, I don't usually drive the car because it starts to build any power and it gets squirrely. For a mid-engine car, that's not normal.
Right.
So it was almost more enjoyable with more manageable horsepower because then you could actually use it rather than
yeah, this is just a good way to scare people, or intimidate people. But yeah, it's everything I thought it could be and more.
Okay. Well, and then if you're driving it responsibly, you can actually enjoy the car.
Oh yeah, it seems like it's fine. It's scary. It's the greatest thing on earth. So I guess the cat's kind of out of the bag on this one. Kind of jonesing for a Pantera. Yeah, I've always thought they were cool. I really think I got it on a mid-engine kick. I'll tell you guys the story really quick. Really got on a mid-engine vehicle kick because I actually went to look at a Corvair Crown conversion. I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago or what have you, and I just thought, okay, it's got to be very well balanced. It's got to be a good performance car. Truthfully, that particular car I wasn't all that impressed with. It didn't run out as well as I thought. I think it probably needs some motor work and a few tweaks and things like that. So then I started thinking about more mid-engine cars, and of course there's always, the Ford GTs, which are very cool. Then there's the Panteras, and so I started doing some more research on Panteras. I've always thought they were kind of cool and got a kick out of them, but I really kind of want one right now. They're very expensive cars, and I really don't need to be spending the money. Doesn't mean that I won't, but I'm going to definitely do some more research. I can tell you for sure that riding in Peter's Pantera did not sway me away from them at all in any way, shape, or form. Of course, I know that that's a heavily modified car. A standard stock, more original Pantera is not going to be anywhere near that. But yeah, that was fun. One thing that I want to say is you guys might have noticed that that car was kind of cutting out at a certain level of boost. That's because of the way it's tuned right now. Peter was saying he needs to get the tune refined so it'll pull all the way up. So basically what you were seeing as far as most of the acceleration shots was about half throttle and only about maybe 12 pounds of boost. There's a lot more that the car is capable of doing. And man, I was impressed. I was all kinds of impressed. Even at like half throttle, pulling what he was pulling, I think it's very comparable to my C5 Z06 in acceleration and pull and everything like that. So wow, I can only imagine once the thing's tuned, once it's all dialed in and where it needs to be, I can only imagine what it's going to be like. A big thanks to Peter for letting me come out, hang out with him for a little while, educating me a little bit on the Pantera itself and a few other vehicles and showing me his vehicles. It was a fun time. I really enjoyed myself. I hope you guys did too. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Just kind of some quick updates. I don't know if I told you guys, but the Gremlin, I actually been getting updates on that quite regularly. The Gremlin has actually been painted, surprisingly. It has paint on it. It has orange paint on it. So I suspect that car could be back here within maybe the next few weeks to a month. 41 Ford should be any day. It really should be any day, and then I'm going to sell that car. I'm definitely going to get rid of it, because if I want a Pantera, I got to start getting rid of a few things. There's a couple other vehicles I'm probably going to sell. I'm thinking maybe the Scat Pack Challenger and maybe even the GT500, which I've had for a long time. But sacrifices must be made. What can I say? So as far as everything else, I still have another vehicle coming. It's in transit. It should be here soon. As a matter of fact, by the time I have this video up, it probably will be here. But you know, I'm always running a little behind on video, so you guys will see it very shortly. If you like the video, guys, give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're stopping in for the first time, Extreme Automotive Addiction, this is the way we live, so definitely subscribe. Instagram, P.O. Box will be in the description below. God bless, take care, have an absolutely amazing day.